We're in Boise. I'm not really quite sure what's going down there. Somebody's getting arrested. Not my problem. Let's hit the road, guys. Ugh. This is my favorite place to go. We're at the On the Run truck stop. They have really good biscuits and chicken. Oh my gosh, it's so freaking good. It's expensive. It's $9 for 4 pieces, plus you get a side and a biscuit. The biscuits are basically just like sweet cake. So back to Washington. Delivering a load in Spokane, Washington. I've got horse feed and hay. That one looks like it kind of fell over, but they're tall pallets of hay. I hate delivering in industrial parks because when they give you an address, the address always just takes you to the somewhere in the park, but they never give you the exact address. They'll give you a number and you got to go figure out where it is. So it's not always the easiest going to delivery in a industrial park, because you never know where you're going to go. If you look at it in Google Maps or Apple Maps, you'll get 2 different addresses. You'll be driving around. I've been looking for this place for a freaking hour now, but I finally found it. And the only way I found it is because North 40 is the company I'm delivering to. So I saw their trailer, but the number on the window is actually the wrong number that the broker gave me. So be patient, guys. You'll figure it out. Another problem with being in industrial parks is sometimes they are very, very tight. So I'm in the road right now. I had a line of about 10 cars waiting for me to back out. I probably should drop my trailer, but I'm kind of at a funny angle, so I might not be able to get out from under it. But I'm pretty straight on that dock, so he's gonna unload me. Let's just wait inside. So I finally got a mount. My other one fell off, but this one I can swivel around. So I figured it's better for making videos, both if I want to do a talking scene with the camera on me, and when I want to do, dash cam recording for the videos and for my vlogs. So yeah, we're here in Spokane. It's 6:30 in the morning. Picked up in Idaho yesterday, hauling a load of hay feed, and it paid really good actually. It was like $4 a mile. So not quite, $3.80 a mile. The broker said it was a full load, 46,000 pounds, but when I scaled myself out, I was only 71,000 pounds, so definitely not max load. Anyways, then I'm going over to one of our dedicated customers and picking up a load going home. Yeah, this is nice. I like this. I mean, I'm pretty rough on the beard right now. Should probably clean up. I've tried my whole life to grow a beard and I haven't been able to, but it's been like the last 6 months or so I finally started growing some beard hair. So I'm trying to grow it out, but it's like really patchy and curly. But this is like seriously almost 4 months of no shaving, so that's all I've got. This is taking forever. I don't even have any like on my cheeks or chin. It's like all under on my neck. I got a little bit on my mustache, but it's really blonde like my hair, so it doesn't look very full or thick. It's honking at me. You go, dude. That dude just flipped me off because I'm parked in the road. I got my hazards on. I'm not dropping my trailer because if I might have a hard time dropping it at this angle. The trailer's tilted uphill, so even if I can get out from under it, I might have a hard time getting back under it. So no bueno, bro. I'm not pulling out. But they're unloading me, so hopefully they'll be done pretty quick. Give me my paperwork back, I'll be out of the road. It's not like it's that busy of a street, but you always feel pressured when there's people behind you. And when you're driving a truck, you can't feel pressured. You do whatever you can to not hit nobody, to not get in anybody's way. Oh, well, I mean, you can get in other people's way, you just can't hit anybody because everyone has dash cams now. So if you drive over a sprinkler or someone will send you an invoice. You know, everyone knows who everyone is because we got so many dash cams. Anyways, life's good. It's really cold, but the market seems to be picking up a little bit, and yeah, I want to know what your guys' thoughts are. Lately I've been thinking we should get another truck. I really want like an old school W900 or an old like 90s 379 Peterbilt. But my problem is that I'm a 300-pound dude that's 6'6". I don't fit in the old trucks. So I've been looking. There's one truck on the market right now on the auction, actually. It's a W990. So it's actually got the bigger cab. It's got the cab of a T680, but it's got a newer, similar hood to a W900. It's different. It doesn't look like a W900 exactly, but I don't know. I put a bid on it. We'll see if we win. We're probably going to be needing to buy a couple more trailers. We've got our main route is picking up, so they're giving us more and more loads than we originally asked for. So I'm needing to hire probably 2 drivers. Looking on the auctions. The good thing about right now is that the market's pretty low, so you can get a trailer for nothing. You can get like a brand new trailer for 10 grand, maybe, not quite. You can get like a 2016 drive-in 53 foot for about $10,000 to $15,000. Good trailer, DOT ready on the auction, you know. So I can hear him unloading me. Well, we'll start driving in a minute. Spokane's actually a beautiful drive. I love it here. I don't know if I'd want to live here, but it's a nice place. It's not too bad. It's not great to be stuck here without a load, so you better be making $3 to $4 a mile if you're getting a load up to Spokane. But it's a beautiful drive, especially coming down I-90 for Montana and Idaho, the Coeur d'Alene Pass. It's a good drive. The roads were a little bit slick, so I was going about 40 miles an hour down the mountain, but there's no point to be in a rush. You save 20 minutes of driving time and you risk wrecking your truck, you know. That's what it comes down to. So anyways, we'll see you guys in a minute. Alrighty. Let's go. We are unloaded. Moved my axles forward. This car to come, and we'll get rocking and rolling. So I had to sweep out the trailer, which I kind of knew that I would have to, but move my paperwork so there's not the glare in the windshield on the camera. Yeah, I knew I was gonna have to move or sweep out the trailer because I was hauling hay. Can't tell. It looks like the camera trailer because it was hay bales on pallets, which is interesting. But and a bunch of horse feed, a couple other things. There was some corn fed feed, some salt blocks, just general livestock stuff. Yeah, beautiful morning. It's now 8:30 local time. I got here about 6:30. Backed into the dock. They didn't took them a second to start unloading them, but they unloaded me pretty quick once they started. And I just spent the last 10 minutes sweeping the trailer out. Cool.
speed limit's 60 here, but I typically go like 65 or 70. I mean, most of the cars here are going much faster. Most people go 70 here. I guess, hold on. Let me take that back. In the city of Spokane, so from Coeur d'Alene to Spokane, it's 60 for everyone. But then once you get outside of the city, it's actually 60 for trucks and 70 for cars. That's how most of the freeways are in Washington, which I don't know. It's kind of like California. California is funny because it's 55 miles an hour for all vehicles that are towing a trailer and all commercial vehicles. So you have to go 55, but the speed limit's 70. So, like, I don't know. I understand the idea of not wanting trucks to be going too fast because they can turn into a pretty big wrecking ball if they can't stop. But I think most of the time, the biggest problem California is going to face is that you've got trucks that are going much slower than everyone else. They're just turning into obstacles in the road, you know, and it's more dangerous for cars that are going above the speed limit to try and merge. And I don't know. California, you can get in some pretty sticky situations and get some pretty big tickets if you're speeding or parking in the wrong place. But actually, from my experience, the ports are actually not too bad in California. I got inspected in Oakland at the port, and it was like a level 1, and literally all they did was make sure I didn't have any flat tires, and they passed me. So, you know, that was really good because it helped their safety score. I passed the level 1 inspection, but like they didn't even like check my brakes. Like all they did was make sure my tires were good. Okay, dude, you can go a little bit faster, Mr. Cheap Gladiator. Let's get this thing. I had a couple of people call me while I was recording, so let's just get through here. We'll get through Spokane, and then I'll pause the video. I'm going to check on that auction. There's also a dry van trailer bidding on in Texas. I don't know if we'll win that one or not. I'm trying not great. I would love to take a load up to like Maine or like Delaware, Massachusetts, but I know that I'm gonna have to be careful because there's tons of tolls. I actually sent one of my drivers to, oh man, to Philadelphia, and I no longer have this driver anymore because he was kind of a punk, but I don't know if he's had his he had his GPS set to like only tolls or something, because this one trip he racked up over $500 worth of tolls. Not even like late expenses, like we paid them all, but he just rode a toll road like freaking all the way from Chicago to Philadelphia. And anyways, freaking idiot. The load it out there only paid like $5,000, so on top of paying fuel, his wage, and the tolls, I didn't make any money on that load. But I did learn a lot. I learned that you don't go to the East Coast unless you're ready to sightsee. No, I'm just teasing. Obviously, there's ways to make money out there. I know I have a buddy that lives in Ohio, and he does like Kansas and Missouri to Pennsylvania. So that's his main run. He just goes back and forth and back and forth. But he lives in the middle, like a little bit west, or no, east of Chicago. Shoot, not Chicago, Cleveland. Having a hard time thinking about where the cities are all. I should know better because I used to live in Ohio. For a little bit, I lived in Akron. Yeah, that was fun times. Good area. It's a lot greener out there than it is here. But it looks like the clouds are parting. I just got out of the fog. So now we're on top of the plateau. So we're actually pretty high altitude right now. I think we're between 4,000 or 5,000 feet, and then we can come down. The more that you go east, you're still coming down the mountain, because up in Montana and Coeur d'Alene, you're higher than even here. So it's a long. I should remember this from like geology and geography, whatever it's called, like the lower shelves of mountains. So you have the top of the mountain that's really steep, and then it like levels out and slowly goes down to the coast. So that's kind of where we are right now, and then we'll turn in a little bit. But coming down off the mountain, we're kind of in a plateau coming into a marsh area. But yeah, this is North Washington. East Wenatchee, where I was earlier this week, is north of here. And that is kind of up in a little bit of a mountainy pass area. So I think that's higher up than where we are here. But yeah, we're on the main interstate now, I-90. So yeah, that's my dream. Someday I'll take a load up to Seattle, and then from Seattle maybe I'll take a load to coast, maybe, if I can make it work. I think that'd be a lot of fun. I'd love to do that. But again, if you're a truck driver, as a lot of my buddies that have worked for other companies have heard, they all say it's not a travel agency. You don't go where you want to go. You go where people pay you to take their cargo. So it's hard to get a direct load anywhere, especially in the freight market that we're in right now. It's all the good stuff gets taken up pretty fast. So you might not be making money if you want to go sightseeing. It'll pay for your trip, it'll pay for your fuel and your maintenance, but you're not going to make any money if you're going sightseeing. Like when I took my trip out to Detroit and back, I only grossed like $10,000, and that was like 8 days of driving. I didn't even gross that much. I grossed like $8,900 from Logan, Utah to Detroit. Then I got a quick load. I got a load from Holland, Michigan, back to Boise, and from Boise I got a load home. Well, I guess I forgot to do that. Okay, maybe I was $10,000, but that was like 9 days of driving. So it really was. I mean, it was all right, I guess. It made money, but
right, guys, I made it back to the yard. I drove about an hour and a half over my logs, but I really wanted to get home because tomorrow's my dad's birthday. Anyways, it's 10:45. We're in Utah. I'm still messing with this camera configuration. I don't know. I've moved it a couple times to try and see. I'm not really liking any of the positions, really. But this will be a good thing. So now I can record me driving and talking, and because I do a lot of thinking when I'm driving. It's good for me to say things, especially the last couple weeks I've been driving a lot, so it's good for me to express what I'm thinking sometimes. So maybe we'll just do videos like that. Anyways, I'm pretty pissed at myself. I don't know if you can tell. I'm trying to mess with my lights. Oh, that one doesn't turn off. I'm trying to mess with my lights to get the lighting good. It's really dark outside. But I'm really pissed at myself for that auction. I mean, I could have got that truck. We really could have. It would have been more than we probably would have been ready to spend. But that truck was so nice. I mean, it is a little bit overpowered for what I would use it for. Because I'm looking for a truck to do standard 80,000 pound loads to Washington and back from Utah, and potentially one to go to California as well. So that's kind of where we're sitting right now. I mean, it was the big 565 horsepower Cummins, which we've had those before for our overweight loads, hauling the doubles in Utah. And but you can always turn those down. I believe you can turn the X15 down to 450 horsepower. I don't know for sure what the lowest it can go is, but then, you know, you feel weird driving it like that. It does have the bigger rear ends, the 3.5 gear ratio. So it is overpowered, but just, I can't believe it, how much it sold for. It sold for 130,000. And it only had 100,000 miles on it, and I don't know. That exact configuration. It's got the toolbox on it. It's got the 300 gallons worth of fuel. The cab is all loaded, double bunk, APU, inverter. It's got everything: TV, microwave, fridge. Dang, it would have been a nice truck. Not that the reason I was hesitant is because it is overpowered. I kind of want something that looks cool but also has good fuel economy. So anyways, let's skip to, I'm gonna do a screen recording and show the auction page, just so you can see what I'm talking about. Beautiful truck. I'm gonna show you. That poor sap. The guy that sold that truck, I feel so bad. He was at the auction. It was one of those live auctions where you can, I was listening to it. I was actually getting loaded at the time that it sold. But that poor guy that sold it, he was there. And, you know, they do their walk around. So you got like a group of dudes that are at the auction lot, and then they get over, eventually they get to the truck, and he was there, and he told the auctioneer that he bought it for $280,000 in it. I think the final auction price was $128,000, but they have their auctioneer premium, so whatever that is, it's a percentage that you get added on, and either the seller or the buyer pays the auctioneer dues. So anyways, I'm gonna grab my stuff up and I'm gonna head home and see the missus, because I haven't seen her in 2 days. So catch you on the next video.